The tales of La Lechuza date back to centuries to Mexico and heavily told in Texas. Though some stories have come from other parts of the world. A white owl that is a bruja, or witch in English. A bruja that has taken the form of this owl. Multiple stories are told on how she got this way. Legend goes that the Lechuza was once a woman who was wronged. Villagers killed her child. Other times her child was killed by a drunk. She is known to attack drunks. Another tale is told the witch herself was killed by the villagers and came back to have her revenge. It's also told the witch sold her soul to the devil and that has allowed her to become the Lechuza. The Lechuza is a well-known tale if you are Mexican or say Hispanic here in the United States. I'm from Texas, so I heard about these tales back when I was little from multiple people in my family. And it's one that, will scare you when you're little, talking about a bruja or a witch, a woman who can become an owl. It's pretty scary when you're little. So me personally, I love paranormal. I love these tales. It's always been with me. So as older I get, the more invested I am in them. So to be able to do this, it's just been awesome. Just able to talk, and especially get to talk about my experiences with Lechuza. Now, being little and being told these tales, frightening. If you're Mexican, how they labeled Hispanic here in the States. I'm from Texas, so it's in our family to know about this and have some experiences with it. And experiences I do have. Now, it differs where you're at, what country, part of the world. If it resonates there, where you're at or wherever else in the world. Now, from what I've always been told is that it's a witch who could turn into an owl, either a small owl, large owl. It's depicted as being large owl, 7 feet tall, big wingspan. There's some that are just regular size owl. But what I've always been told is that with the owl, when it comes to the face, it's the woman's face. Or let's just say there's someone out there who knows you, who's jealous of you, who's bitter, and they send the Lechuza to you to scare you, to make something bad happen. And I always told that if that was the case, that owl would have the face of that person. So you would see who was jealous of you, who's bitter, angry, whatever the case is. You would see that person's face on that owl. I was told that. I was also told too that if you see it, that expect bad things to happen. Something happened to you, something happened to someone you care about, you love, or even worse, death. That is an omen of death, that death was coming. If it wasn't coming for you, it was coming for someone you know, someone you love, someone you cared about. So when you're outside, or if you're inside and you hear it, you hear the Lechuza, and you step outside to go see, and you see it, that was an omen of death, that something was going to happen. That's what I was told. And from my experiences where my parents live at, which is my grandma's house, so it's a very old house. Well, behind it, there was a barn. Now, get where my parents live at. Back, 20 years ago, population there was less than 300. So, not too much traffic coming in and out. Everyone knew each other. Families knew each other there. So, being less than 300, there was open fields, cattle, And right behind our house was a barn. Now, what I always told is that Lechuza is a barn owl. So, a barn from the backyard, you can easily see from the backyard. And there's a pond right next to it. Well, me and my dad, from little up until teenage years, we'd always go back there and go fishing. But having that barn back there, knowing what Lechuza is, knowing that there's owls back there when you're little, and you know you're being told this too to frighten you, but knowing that that barn was there and owls were there, yeah, it'll get you. So, and that barn, I'm telling you what, it was an old looking barn. So it made it even worse when you're going back there to go fish and you're walking past it, looking inside, you know, just to make sure there's nothing there. But I remember me and my sisters, we would be out there, and she's 2 years older than me, so you know she would try to get me scared about it, tell me things about it, you know. But there were times when I got older, especially in my teens, that you know I would hear it, the sound that it makes. You know, it was just unsettling. And at times too, when you would hear it and you couldn't see it, you know, that was kind of the frightening thing, is you're looking around and you can't see it. And now this is at night too, so I'm hearing it, I'll hear it and nothing. And now this is what we're always told too, is that when you hear it, when you see it, the one thing to do to get it off you, to back it off of you, is to cuss at it. To cuss at it in Spanish. So I would do that, cuss at it. Sometimes I'll throw in some English cuss words too, you know, just throwing it all out there together, you know. And then, you know, I wouldn't hear it anymore. Now, there have been cases where I'm outside and I'd hear it, and then I'd look and I'd see it. Either just perched on a tree, on a power line, just there, squawking, just squawking. And I would do the same thing, and then it would fly away. Now, this is one experience that I had with two of my best friends who it was out there. I mean, it was unsettling. It never experienced anything like that. And this is where, in the place where my parents live at, like I said, everyone knows everyone. So me, two of my friends who were at his girlfriend's house, who also lived in the same city, we were outside just hanging out and just talking. And it was after 12. And right by where his girlfriend lived that we were at, it was just walking distance, maybe not even 5 minutes walking distance. There's a little hole in the wall restaurant, burger joint, right off the main highway. And at that time, a few weeks before that night we were out hanging out, the owner had killed himself. So that was the big thing going on at that time. So we're just talking and we're like, you know what, let's go to that restaurant. Let's go check it out. Let's go see, you know. So we go, you know, we wanted to see maybe how it looked inside, if we could peek through the windows, you know. We knew that it was going to be locked, so there's no way for us to get in. We weren't going to break in, you know. So we were walking, and we were about 20 feet away from it. And we had to walk past, there's like a building right here, and then the restaurant's right here. So we had to walk past that building. So we're walking past the building, and then we just hear like a squawking noise. And then we just all look up, and then we just see Lechuza just flying around us, above us, in a circle. Just calmly flying, squawking at us. So there we're just looking at it, and we're not saying anything. Now it's like the dead of night, you know, after 12. There's no cars passing by, no one out. Maybe just us. Small little town. So we're there just looking at it, and it's just flying above us, just flying in a circle. And then we stop looking at it. We just look at each other, and without even saying anything, we just give each other the look of let's get out of here. So that's what we do. We start walking back, and then we kind of look back to see if it was there, and it was gone. Now when we get back to his girlfriend's house, we're sitting outside like we were before, and just unnerving, just never experienced a thing like that. Now, like I said before, I've seen it perched up on a power line, a tree, and heard it. Sometimes couldn't see it, but it never did anything like that. Like if it was just watching us, waiting for what we were gonna do, and if it was gonna do something to us, kind of like buzzards are. They fly around the carcasses, the dead animals on the road or whatever it is. So after just talking, we kind of just came to the conclusion that believing in, in the paranormal and stuff like that, that it, we just came to the conclusion that it was the owner who sent the Lechuza to us. He knew what we were going to do. We talked about it out loud. He knew what we were going to go do, that we were going to go check out his place, and he sent it to us to warn us not to go any further. And, after that, we didn't try anything like that again. We should have respected that, his place and all that, but, that was just a warning. And that was one main thing that always have stuck with me. And that was, I want to say, about 15 years ago. And, it's never left my mind. So that's, something to, that's going to stick with me. And I'm going to, telling y'all. I haven't really told many people about it, my experience. There is another experience, but I'm going to keep that to myself. But it's the Lechuza. Well, I hope this was something that you enjoyed watching, and if you're like me who's into the paranormal, folklore, everything like that, I think that you're going to enjoy what's going to come next. Thank you for watching. Watch yourself when you're out there. Until the next one, stay haunted.